our second video in a series of 3 on working with whole grain flour. The last video you went through and we did a 30% mix of whole grain flour. Today we're going to go through and do a mix of 60% whole grain flour, and we'll just show the difference really in the process. As you get kind of higher up in whole grains, you've got to think about more of hydration in there, your stretching and folding technique, how long it proves for, because it is going to change the end result, and the process has to change accordingly to that. So here we go. So I'll go through now, and I've got a lovely starter here from last night. So I'm going to go through here and put 100 grams of this into my bowl. Measure on there. Okay. This one is a rye starter. In fact, this one's actually a light rye starter. I ran out of dark rye, but this will do a good job as well. Just a bit stickier, that's all being lighter rye. That looks to be about right there, I think. Grams there. Great. So this now will go back in the fridge again now to make up my next one. So I don't waste starter, I don't have discard, so it just kind of goes back in the fridge and make another one up with it next time. So I've got some videos on keeping the starter going, so that's what you do now. Put the lid on and into the fridge. Then we're going to mix in our water here. Okay, looks good there. And then we'll mix this all up. So I don't do an autolyze. This is kind of the process that I use now. I've cut that piece out of the process, and really works well. So I'll just mix this up, let it stand for a couple of minutes, and I'll come back to you with the next part. Okay, great. So I just let that stand for a couple of minutes just to let it all dissolve and makes it easier to mix through. So now we'll go through with our flour. So we're going to add 60% wholemeal flour. So we're having a 600 loaf, so it's 360 of wholemeal flour. This is a Shipton mill one. Oops, a little bit over there, but okay, that's fine. 10 grams over. And the rest we've got a strong organic, again, Shipton mill bread flour. In here, again, all organic. Now, if you buy your flour in bulk from a mill, you'll generally get, well, you can choose to get organic flour, high quality flours. You can buy in bulk, probably cheaper than you're going to find in the supermarket, so bear that in mind. So now I'm going to go through and just basically mix this up. So once it's mixed up, we'll put a little bit of salt in there, which will be, for us, it will be 12 grams for this mix, so 2% on there. So we're not kind of kneading, we're just really mixing it along there. It's an easy mixing process. I'll put my salt in now as well. So I know this spoon here, heaped up, is pretty much on the money, 12 grams. So this is sea salt I'm using here. Okay, so I know that that's going to be 12 grams. Just sprinkle it around so it's around evenly. And then go through the process now, really just mixing it in. That's all you're doing here, is mixing the ingredients together. You know, most sourdoughs you make at home, really, you don't need a mixer for it. It's much easier just to use a spoon in your hands, because it doesn't really need that much. Okay, that's great. So I'll just go through and I'll mix that through. So my hand now, all you want to get is that everything in here is really amalgamated. Right, that's great. So that's enough there. So basically, I'm going to leave that now for 20 minutes to half an hour, and come back to it, and then we'll do this first set of stretch and folds. So there you go, as easy as that. 60% whole grain flour. Fantastic. So see you in a wee bit. Okay, great. That's been about 20 minutes now. So it's kind of amalgamated a little bit more on there, but still pretty shaggy as far as, obviously there's no dough strength. Well, there's some dough strength in there. So we're going to give this a stretch and fold now. First one. So wet your hands first, take it out of the bowl and then wrap it around your hands like this. This is quite an aggressive stretch and fold, but really gets it going and really great for kind of whole grain flours. See, it's starting to tear here now. At that point, you really want to leave it because you're kind of building up dough strength from there. So put it back in the bowl again and come back in another 20 minutes time, do the same thing again. And because it's a higher whole grain flour, quantity of flour in here, do this 3 times. You can do it two sometimes with a lower whole grain flour, but this probably 3 times. So we've got a noisy cat in the background as well saying, well, carry on, it's pretty good. So there you go. So we'll come back to this in about 20 minutes time and I'll get the cat in here as well to do some more talking to us, help us along. And yeah, anyway, come back to this later and show you some more. Thanks again. Right, that's been another half an hour, so you can see now how it's relaxed and flattened out. So we're going to kind of just put my hands, I'm going to go through and do another set of stretch and folds on here. Put some more tension in there. So again, we're going to wind it around our hand like this, that way. Really kind of wind it around until, you know, there's quite a lot of resistance on here now, so you would stop at this point. I think that's pretty much, just make it into a nice ball. And just out of interest, really, we can just check for do a window pane test on here to see how much dough strength we got on here. Don't forget, this is a higher whole grain content, so it's going to be a little bit different. So that's pretty good actually at the moment. Now we've done 2 stretch and folds. Probably can do with a bit more. It'll probably tear. Actually, that's pretty good. But that is really quite good towards the drum. So I'll still do 1 more stretch and fold on that, but that probably now is looking actually really, really good. So there we go. So I'll leave that in the bowl and come back to that again in another half an hour's time. Great. Okay, great. So this is the 3rd and final time now. So just had a look at it. It's flattened out again here. So I'll do another set. Just wet my hands. Another stretch and fold on here. This is feeling much nicer now. Really quite kind of silky and smooth. So that folds really lovely. So that really feels now right to me. Just starting to get a few bubbles coming on here as well, which is really nice to see. And so I'll leave that on here. Probably it's 20 degrees C in this room at the moment. So for me, that's about 5 or 6 hours, probably more like 6 hours until it's ready to shape and go in the fridge. So come back in about 6 hours time and go through the next bit of the process. And as you can hear in the background, I've got a noisy cat again, wants to go outside or say hello. So thanks for watching this little bit. Come back later, but that's looking really good. So that's 60% whole grain flour in there and looks really good. Good dough strength. We've checked already the window pane, so I know it's going to be good on there. So come back later in about 6 hours time. Thanks for watching. Right, that's great. So that's been about 6 hours now, and this is looking really good. It's risen up well in the bowl. Just give it a little prod test on here. Just kind of see it slowly coming back then. So it makes an indentation and then slowly comes back. So that's what you want. So what I'll do now is I'll just go through the process of showing you how to shape it and put it into the basket balance on. And also I'll put some seeds on top. It's always nice to toast some seeds on top of a loaf. Why not? So first thing to do is I'll just dust down on top. This is rice flour I got on here. Helps not to stick, and a little bit on the bench as well, not too much. It's probably enough on there, very thin layer. And with the side of it here, I'm going to put down my seeds. Just going to sprinkle them out. Yeah, so it's sunflower and pumpkin seeds. Now just wet my hands and just get the dough out now. So just ease it out. It should just come out in one nice piece, really. Well, that's actually feeling really good. Yeah, so that's kind of coming out in one nice piece. Now I'm going to give it some stretches here now. Because we've got kind of with this dimension, we can make it longer. So we're going to stretch it and then fold over in kind of a rectangular shape, I guess, really. Like that. So that's really good there. Then we fold into the middle, stretch like that into the middle, and then roll over like this. And here, really good. Roll it into the seeds. Give it a good coating all over. There we go, here we've got all the seeds on there. Then into the batter like this. That's good. Then we're going to fold it in then. So we're going to fold the end in here like that, tuck that in, fold the end in here, and you just fold it over then. So you're stretching the surface a bit now slightly. So you're kind of making some tension in the loaf. And there you go. And so that's looking lovely. And what you can do as well, just put a little bit of, again, rice flour along the sides here, stop it from sticking. It looks as though it's fine actually on here at the moment, but it's good just to kind of double check on there. And that's lovely, all ready to go. So really happy with that. So that can now go, put the cover on, and then into the fridge. We'll put that over in the fridge overnight, coldest part of the fridge. And then tomorrow I'll bake it. So that's a 60% wholemeal dough ready to go for tomorrow. Okay, that's great. So next morning now, so we've got a beautiful loaf that's been in the fridge. So this is a 60% wholemeal sourdough loaf, and we're going to bake it. So I've got the usual tools on here, semolina, ice cubes, and an alarm here for cutting into it. So here we go. I'll get it out of the oven and let's get going. So the oven's been going for about 35-40 minutes now, just to heat it up. Put a little bit of semolina flour, just to stop it from sticking. Beautiful, on there. And then put our loaf in. Beautiful, on that nice big loaf. The important bit then is to score it. Nice, good, clean score across the top on here. It's perfect on there. Get ice cubes in. Lid on. This is at 240 for 20 minutes first of all. There we go, in the oven. So that's, try and get as organised as you can and do as quickly as you can. And anyway, that's great. So I'll come back to you in 20 minutes time and we'll see the next stage. Thanks for watching. Right, that's great. That's been the 20 minutes up now. So I'll get it out, get the loaf out of the oven and let's have a look at it. Well, that's looking great. So 60% rye flour, got a good rise on there, got a nice crumb, really pleased with that. So I'll put it back in the oven again for 20 minutes at 220. Okay, great, so that's been another 20 minutes. So it should be, fingers crossed, ready and looking good. And there we go. So I'm pleased with that. So that's 60% whole grain flour made with a rice starter. So that's a really healthy, beautiful loaf. You know, the micronutrient content of whole grain flour is fantastic, and also having the rye in there as well. So a really good, healthy loaf, and really pleased how that's turned out. Lovely colour in there, lovely lift and crumb on there, nice and crunchy. That'll be a delicious loaf. So leave that maybe for a couple of hours just to kind of continue cooking through and to dry out there. Particularly if you've got like a more of a grainy bread, really good to leave it a little bit longer than you may do normally with a white bread. So there you go. So please have a go and make a beautiful high whole grain content bread. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this is the grand reveal. So this is our 60% wholemeal loaf with 60 grams of rye flour in there. So we got a mixture. So it's over kind of 60% of whole grain. So really good, wholesome loaf. Let's see how it looks. So as you can see, it's a beautiful looking loaf, really lovely. You know, as you've seen in the videos, there's a few tricks for kind of working with higher whole grain loaves. So as you've seen earlier in the series there. So anyway, I'll come into it now and show you how we look. Lovely and crunchy. There we go. Fantastic whole grain loaf. 60% whole grains, absolutely beautiful. Lovely crumb on it, and really, you know, a fantastic nutritious loaf. Exactly what you want. So I think that now I've done one at 30% whole grain. 60%, and maybe we'll go to 80%, 90% for another one as well. And as you can see, lovely, beautiful and springy, lovely loaf. So yeah, so I'll do one more in the series with 90% or maybe 80%. I'll decide which to do there for the next one, and then we'll see how that goes. But I mean, you know, these tips and tricks really help you to create beautiful, healthy loaves, one that your family are going to enjoy. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. I'll keep on doing these videos. So thanks for watching and enjoy baking.